Hey guys, this is Jock again, and welcome back to Mini Bash, a 10-minute little segment that we're trying to put out here every once in a while to let you know about what's going on in the Call of Duty community. Tonight, I wanted to present, in the 10 minutes I've got, the Call of Duty Hall of Fame induction that we are having this month. For those of you who come regularly to the BASHLive.com site, you'll probably see a couple of things that you might have confused you if you don't know too much about us. Way off here in the right-hand upper segment of the site, you'll see the BASHLive.com Hall of Fame in the silhouette here, and it says Vote Now. And also way up here, you'll see a tab. It's called Call of Duty Hall of Fame. Now, we click onto that tab, the Call of Duty Hall of Fame, and you'll see that we have inducted quite a few people since October the 1st of 2007, when we first inducted Jim Rude Dog of FPSadmin.com into the Hall of Fame. My gosh, we've put in almost 26 people into the Call of Duty Hall of Fame. Why are we doing this? Well, we're trying to highlight the great things that people in our community are doing, and those people who are truly great are getting into the Call of Duty Hall of Fame in our BASHLive.com site. Now, how do you get into the Bash Hall of Fame? How do you qualify? Well, we've tried to explain that here. Candidates come from all sorts of areas of our community. We have builders, people like admins, server operators, clan leaders, that sort of thing. We have coders and mappers, people who contribute by providing us with maps and scripts and binds, that sort of thing. We have, of course, players, corporate types, guys like people actually in the corporations that make our video games. And we request, at least minimum 2 years in the Call of Duty community. And you have to be nominated, and you've got to be of good character. Well, we've had a few nominations for this quarter where we've been looking at in depth and voting on. What happens is when you see this little symbol I just showed you earlier, it means it's time to vote. And if you are a member of our forums, you can vote on those people nominated. If you want to know more, if you want to hear the very first induction ceremony, you can always go to Bash 37, way back on October 3rd, 2007, where we did our first set of inductee nominations. And you can go back there and listen to us doing it live and find out a little bit more about it. Let's actually get right to this quarter's induction ceremony. Let's head to the bash boards, where you will see, actually let me just go back one here. Here's the Call of Duty Hall of Fame segment in the bash boards. If you're a member of the bash boards, you'll see it'll say Call of Duty Hall of Fame in the main screen. And you'll see a little segment up here in the forum called the voting booth. You go into the voting booth, and for that quarter you have seen people that were up for inductee voting, and let's go right to the folks who have been inducted. The first one in is Upholder in the modder category. Congratulations to Upholder. Veteran modder, been around forever, literally. He was recently in the Heat of Battle mod as the main coder. Just big congratulations to Upholder for going in the modding category. You can always go check out what he's been doing at heatofbattle.net. Next up, I think this is our first admin. I think he's also a mapper, as well as being an admin, and he was voted in for his mapping, and that is Fritz of fritzmods.com. Here's his site, fritzmods.com, and you'll see that he's just released, he's fairly prolific, he's released his MP Psycho World War release right here, MP Psycho, and of course he's ported over his now I guess famous Call of Duty 4 map, Fritzkrieg. For those of you who've ever downloaded my config Yitch 3, you probably see a pyramid-like structure on the front of that the post where I put Yitch 3, you'll see a pyramid, and that pyramid is, of course, the pyramid used in Fritzkrieg. Well, Fritzy decided to release his Fritzkrieg again for World at War, and you'll see it's a little bit of a darker map with a big huge moon out here in the setting here in the horizon. Wonderful map, great for, of course, Call of Duty Nazi Zombies. Next to be inducted into our Bash / Call of Duty Hall of Fame, it was, of course, someone who's now I guess famous in Europe, probably not very well known here in North America, Robert Morg Black, or Morg. If you've ever heard of ProMod, you will know that although RAF1 was involved in coding ProMod, the guy with the idea behind ProMod was Morg, and we clap our hands for Morg. Great job, and he's in the Hall of Fame as a builder. Next up, another builder. You all know about him. This is Ian Tannehill, of course, from CoV. He's the head of game for the CoV CoD 4 section. Ian has just spent a huge amount of time putting his imprint in the competitive esports scene in North America. Huge proponent of CoD 4, and you know what? This guy absolutely totally deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, if not for his competitive juices and his contribution to the competitive esports scene. It's for being a firefighter out there in SoCal, a wonderful guy, and certainly putting his life on the line to keep us safe and sound while we're playing our video game. So congrats, Tannehill, for being in the Call of Duty Hall of Fame here at Bash. And finally, in the player category, Adam Fan, aka Deny. Those of you who've played Call of Duty 4 probably remember this person from Waterloo, Ontario. One of the more phenomenal players, I think, in COD 4. I've scrimmed with Deny. The man is just a blur. He's incredibly quick. Deny was one of the best flankers I've ever seen. Take your eye off this guy for just a second. He's surrounded you. I mean, just a one man team on his own. But he played on EG, which turned out to be a phenomenal with him. And I would like to say, first of all, my hat's off to Adam for making that team as great as it was. And he is now in the Bash / Call of Duty Hall of Fame. Congrats to Adam. And finally, if you're interested in nominating somebody who you think is worthy of being in the Hall of Fame, I want you to tell me about it. And you can go to the Call of Duty Hall of Fame tab in bashnslash.com and take a look at what you need to do to nominate that person. Essentially, just tell me a little bit about the person you're nominating and send the email to me, jockyitch@gmail.com. And that person will be nominated, and at some point in the future, probably a quarter, in that quarter, we will start voting for him in our forums. And again, if you want to partake in the voting, and I please urge everybody to do so, come to our bash boards in the Call of Duty Hall of Fame section and look for the voting booth. When we are voting, you will see names up here in our forum. Just click on them and you can add your vote. Thank you very much for listening, and congrats to all our bashandslash.com Call of Duty Hall of Fame inductees.